So, you're ready to start a business in the Golden State? That's awesome. If you've got the dream, we've got the blueprint. We're going to break down everything you need to know to get your California business legally registered, step by step. Let's jump right in.
You've got that killer idea, right? You're feeling the energy and you are ready to make a splash in one of the biggest economies on the planet. But before you get to the fun part, there's a little bit of groundwork. You've got to get registered.
And look, you are in fantastic company. Almost every single business in California is a small business. You're joining this huge, incredible community of creators and innovators. And every single one of them had to start right where you are, asking the same exact question.
This right here, this is probably the biggest decision you'll make at the very beginning. And it's not just about filling out forms. Nope. This choice sets the entire legal and financial foundation for your business. So, how do you pick the right one? This video contains affiliate links. Before we dive into the exact step-by-step strategy to launch your company in the Golden State, let's talk about the foundation. You absolutely cannot build a profitable, protected business in California without a properly structured business entity. Most people try to launch as a sole proprietor, or they cut corners on their California Secretary of State filings, and that's exactly why they leave their personal assets, savings, and property completely exposed to lawsuits and business debt. Your business needs to be a legitimate, separate legal entity. That's where Busy comes in. Busy is the absolute best service out there, handling your entire California LLC formation for just $0 plus state fees. They take care of the heavy lifting for you, filing your articles of organization, providing your legally required California registered agent service, securing your EIN, which you need to open a proper business bank account, and setting up your compliance alerts so you never miss your mandatory statement of information filings. They give you everything you need to establish that ironclad legal separation between you and your business. This is non-negotiable if you want to protect your wealth and scale safely in California. I've put a special link in the description below. Use my link to get your California LLC set up right through Busy today and unlock some exclusive discounts and perks. Get that handled first, and then let's get back to building the business.
Okay, think of this as the first major fork in the road on your founder's journey. The path you take right now is going to define things like your personal liability, how you get taxed, and even your ability to grow down the line.
So let's get into the two most common choices, the LLC and the corporation. An LLC, or a limited liability company, is kind of like a super versatile SUV. It's flexible, it's way easier to manage on a day-to-day basis, and it's perfect for a ton of small businesses. A corporation, on the other hand, that's your heavy-duty commercial truck. It's built for serious growth, for taking on investors, and it comes with a much more formal, rigid structure.
And this chart really lays out the trade-offs. Now, both structures give you personal asset protection, which is absolutely key, but the biggest differences are in taxes and rules. With an LLC, you get what's called pass-through taxation. The profits just pass through to you and you pay taxes once. Simple. A standard C-Corp, though, can get hit with double taxation. The company pays taxes and then you pay taxes again on your dividends. Now, there's a workaround called an S-Corp, which lets you have pass-through taxation like an LLC. And then there's governance. LLCs are super chill, no mandatory board meetings. Corporations, they're rigid. You have to hold annual board meetings and keep detailed records. So the bottom line is, if you're dreaming of venture capital, you're almost certainly going to need a C-Corp. If you just want protection and simplicity, the LLC is probably your best bet.
And what about the cost to get started? Well, the state filing fee is just $70 for an LLC and $100 for a corporation. It's not a huge difference for sure, but hey, every dollar counts when you're starting out. Of course, there's one other option for people who are just dipping their toes in the water, the sole proprietorship. It is the absolute simplest way to start. There's no formal state filing needed. But, and this is a huge but, you and the business are legally the same person. And that means your personal assets are not protected if the business gets into debt. It's fine for testing a really low-risk idea, but most people upgrade to an LLC pretty quick to get that shield of protection. Okay, so you've made the big decision on your business structure. Awesome. Now it's time to make it real. Let's walk through the actual steps you'll take to become an official, legal business in California. It really just boils down to these three main steps. First, you've got to pick and secure a unique name. Second, you have to appoint something called a registered agent. And third, you file the official paperwork with the state. See, it's a totally manageable process. So what in the world is an agent for service of process or registered agent? Look, this is a legal must-have. It's a person or a company whose job it is to accept official mail and legal documents for your business. You know, like if you ever get sued. The key thing to remember is they have to have a physical street address in California, no P.O. boxes, and they have to be available during business hours to receive stuff.
And here we are at step 3, the main event. If you're an LLC, you'll file a document called the Articles of Organization. If you're a corporation, it's the Articles of Incorporation. Honestly, the best and fastest way to do this is online using the Secretary of State's BizFile portal. It'll save you a ton of time compared to mailing and paper forms.
And you're registered. Congratulations. But hang on, don't pop the champagne just yet. You're not quite done. There are a few other really important federal and state requirements we've got to cover to make sure you're totally good to go.
First thing you need is an Employer Identification Number, or EIN. You get this directly from the IRS, and it's totally free. Just think of it like a social security number, but for your company. You'll need this for pretty much everything: filing taxes, hiring employees, and, crucially, for opening up a business bank account.
Compliance is all about layers. After you're set with a state, you've got to think local. You'll almost certainly need a general business license from your city or county. And depending on what you do, say if you're in food service or construction, you'll need industry-specific permits. The state's CalGold website is the best place to figure that out. Selling stuff? You'll need a seller's permit from the CDTFA to collect sales tax. And if you're going to hire people, you have to register with the EDD to handle payroll taxes.
All right, you've made it through the entire setup. You're legal, you're licensed. The very last piece of the puzzle is just staying compliant. This is all about how you maintain your business's good standing with the state, year after year.
So this checklist right here, this is your golden ticket to staying on track. Every year, you have to pay that $800 minimum franchise tax and renew all your licenses. You also have to file a statement of information to keep the state updated, though for LLCs, that's only every 2 years. And the last two things here, getting that EIN and opening a separate business bank account, are those critical first steps we talked about. Seriously, keeping your business and personal finances separate is non-negotiable. It's what keeps that personal liability protection strong. At the end of the day, remember that all of this, choosing a structure, filing forms, it's so much more than just paperwork. You are literally building the foundation that will support your dream as it grows into something amazing.
So there you have it. You've laid the groundwork. You are officially in business. The real journey starts right now. The question isn't how to start anymore. The real question is, what are you going to build?